Hey guys, this is Kevin Nelson, and welcome to my 90-day success formula. This is going to be a series of videos over the next 90 days that hopefully will provide more or less a blueprint for you to understand that you're in control of the circumstances and the things that are happening to you. I'm here in my beautiful front yard here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and you know, this is normally where I sit every morning and have a cup of coffee and reflect on the day and make my plan for exactly what I'm going to do during the day. Just to give you a brief history about myself, and you can look for the links on this page and look for my entire story if you want. But I've been in the home-based business industry for over 20 years, and I've been in a position where I was a top producer in a company. I've also been in a position where I have struggled relentlessly to make a dollar. And a long time ago, I began to study successful people and learned that really, if you can just copy or model after a successful person, then you've got a lot better opportunity at success. In this video, this is going to be day one, and it's entitled A Simple Decision. And what we're going to look at throughout this video is a few things. And this is what you're going to learn over the next 90 days, and most specifically in this particular video. Who is in ultimate control of your circumstances? We're going to discuss that in detail. What exactly is holding you back from your personal success? When will the shift occur that just makes it all magically work for you? Again, I've been on both sides of this equation, and I can tell you that when the shift occurs, things do magically work like clockwork. It's being in synchronicity, it's being in sync with your surroundings, with the universe, which is in abundance. We're going to talk about where exactly to focus your energy to produce the results that you desire. Why these proven strategies work for everyone, no matter what it is that you want, no matter what business you're building, no matter what your idea of success is. Maybe it has nothing to do with business per se, but it has to do with just your own personal desires and what you want out of life. No matter what your definition of success is, hopefully that this video and over the next 90 days, this guideline, this blueprint, will help you to uncover this success formula for yourself. Also, we're going to look at how to condition yourself for prosperity and abundance starting right now. All right, so here we go. First of all, let's look at who is in control. Well, you are. You're in total control. Your decisions that you make, you're in control of your decisions ultimately. Nobody else decides what you think. So what you decide, what you think is in your control. And you have to understand that your thoughts produce feelings inside you, okay? Everything starts with a thought. And you can control how you feel in this instance, okay? So you need to decide what to have faith in, okay? It's crazy. A lot of the principles discussed in business are biblical principles. I don't know if you personally believe in God or exactly what label you put on that entity that has created us all and created everything around us. We're all of one entity. We're all of one flesh. We're all of one likeness, and it's love. It's all good things. So another decision that you have to make, and besides deciding what to have faith in, do you have faith in all of the bunk that people are talking about out there right now? What you see on the news? What is programming your thoughts right now? Your mind is a supercomputer, unlike any other, and you need to ask yourself, what program are you running? Are you operating on an ancient program that you don't even really know why? Or are you seeking out and deciding on what actions you're going to take based on what you have faith in? I mean, this gets deep. So you decide what actions to take to get to where you want to be. You decide to continue in faith until you've reached your success, or not. See, faith is a really big thing, and I don't mean just spiritual faith, but again, all these principles are biblical. In Scripture, it tells you to set your mind and keep it set. Keep your mind free of wrong thinking, wrong thoughts. The forces of evil, as they were, however you want to label that, they're working on you every day. And you're in control of what thoughts you subscribe to or not. If you're tuning a radio station and you want to hear some rock and roll music, well, you tune the dial to a frequency until you get what you're looking for. Think about this. Look at Google. They're a search engine. If you go on Google and you say, you ask the question of Google and you say, how can I fail at something? Doesn't matter what it is. How can I do this the wrong way? Guess how many results Google's going to return to you? An infinite amount of results. There's going to be millions of ways that you can fail at something. This biocomputer that you have upstairs is very similar to this. So when you focus on and ask the questions to your mind, to the universe, using your supercomputer, it's like running a search. So if you're focused on negative thinking, wrong thinking, everything that's wrong, everything that you're lacking in life, instead of where you want to be, and focused on the people that are getting the results that you want, focus on what it is they're doing. I mean, seriously, man, all of this stuff works. All of this stuff works. You've heard, for things to get better, you have to get better. Well, guess why that is? Because you're in control. You're the one in control of your outcome, your situation. You're tending the garden. You're tending the garden. Is your garden overgrown with weeds? Or are you producing the fruit in your life that's based on what you have sown? So you reap what you sow. Again, it's a biblical principle. The farmer's not going to go out and expect to grow tomatoes and plant a squash seed. He's going to make a decision up front. I want tomatoes. And there's all kinds of different tomatoes, right? So you need to know what it is. You need to have a goal. You need to know what it is you're shooting for, and then have faith that once you put that seed in the ground, once you sow in faith that I've stuck that tomato seed in the ground, well, guess what kind of fruit it's going to produce? It's going to produce a tomato. And you don't need to know how it works, but you know it does work. You know that when water hits that, and the soil is moist, and that seed stays down there in the dark, that eventually it's going to sprout. Well, there's no question of what kind of plant that's about to grow. If you planted the seed and you knew what seed it was, and you tended it accordingly, you keep the weeds out of there, and you have faith that, hey, if I keep doing this, I'm going to have a tomato plant. And if I keep the weeds out of the garden, if I keep watering it correctly, if I let it get sun, it's going to grow into a healthy tomato plant. So what are you looking for? Are you looking for tomatoes and you're sowing some squash? You're not going to get tomatoes, my friend. Okay, so you're in control of this. You have to decide what it is you want up front. You have to decide. Very recently, I took a look at my own situation, and I'm struggling in several areas. And I'm like, why is this? I used to not be struggling in these areas. And knowing that I'm in control of this all, knowing that my outcomes are only a result of my previous day's thinking. It's the fruit in my garden, and I've been feeding it the wrong stuff. So I'm not going to get what I'm expecting, okay? You have to understand that you're in control of this, okay? So decide to continue in faith until you've reached your success, until you've gotten that fruit from your garden. You have to tend the garden. You have to do what's necessary. Folks, you got to do what's necessary in your business. If you want to succeed in your business, you have to do what's necessary in your business. And it takes clear intentions from the beginning. You have to decide what you want. And you have to decide that there is a right way of doing it and a wrong way of doing it. In terms of how you're thinking about it. Thinking about that result. Thinking about that goal. So, if you're in control then what the heck's holding you back? You are. You have to understand this. Your decision to hold on to this past that's full of lack, and I mean your mentality full of lack. I mean the wrong thinking that the news is right, that your friends and family that are telling you, oh, this economy is just, it's got everybody down. There's nobody, able to make any real money in this economy. They're blaming everybody else. Do you understand that? If you're making some of these statements, it's hard to make money. What are you doing to yourself? You need to get in line with the universe. God made all things in abundance on this planet. There is no lack. There is no lack of love and compassion and understanding and wealth and prosperity. There is no lack of that. The only lack is between your ears and an understanding that this is available to you. So your decision to hold on to this past way of thinking is really, it's tearing you up, instead of embracing what the truth is that all things are in abundance to you. They're right there for the taking. It's one of the main things holding you back, making the decision. So when exactly will this shift occur? It occurs the instant that you decide. Now, here's the thing. Just like when you plant that garden, when you plant that seed, okay, you have instantly decided that you're going to grow tomatoes, and you got a tomato seed, and you took it out of the pack, and you put it into the ground. Okay, you decided that you wanted tomatoes, but then you had to take the actions that back it up. Okay, yeah. Now that's a big thing. Once you have decided, let me see here. The moment you take the first steps of action, you've heard actions speak louder than words. Well, they do, because they show what your intentions were first. Before you even spoke the words, you had a thought of it, okay? And then you spoke the words. Isn't it interesting to look at how we were created, how everything was created? In a biblical sense, and in a spiritual sense. If you believe in God and believe in Scripture, God said, "Let there be light," and there was. There was a thought, there was that energy that was created, and then He spoke it into reality. Scripture also tells us that we were created in a Christ-like image, in the image of this power. See, we have all this inside us. They tell us that we use 2 or 3% of our brain. I mean, to me, I think if we could use 100% of all of our capability, then we would be more in touch with the mind of God, or that would be 100%. I mean, how else can you say it? But we're so far separated from that, and it starts in our thinking and understanding and realizing that we have this power within us to change our circumstances right now. You can do this right now. But after you've made the decision, now think about this in everything you do. If you don't have faith after you've made the decision, it's real easy to go, dadgummit, I'm gonna do this today. But if you have these little inklings of doubt in the back, if you doubt the process, if you don't really believe and have faith in the process, you're not going to get the result that you're looking for, because you're not going to take the action. I've got another video that kind of sums up some of these things. I'll put a link to it somewhere on this page. But I just think seriously about this for a minute. I mean, for yourself. You know as well as I do, you're not going to go take the actions and do what's necessary if you don't believe it's even possible. Take a look at your business right now. And if you're in a position of you're going, man, this thing doesn't work. I've signed up for this, and I've made a list, and I've done all this stuff that my sponsors told me to do, but it just doesn't work for me. That's bogus, my friend. It's bogus. It's you. You have to take ownership of your business, your life, your outcome, and make this shift. Bob Proctor talks about paradigms and the paradigm shift, and that paradigms are really like habits, and it's a habit of thinking that you're into. You're in the habit of thinking when there's an opportunity. You're in the habit of thinking, that probably doesn't work. That probably wouldn't work for me. You know what? Whether you think you can or you think you cannot, either way, you're absolutely correct. Look at the industry that you're in, the business that you're in. If there are people making money in that business, it can be done. There starts your faith right there. Are there people in network marketing that are having success and making millions of dollars? Absolutely. Are there people who are failing miserably and losing their houses and property, and they're going to blame it on their job or their lack of opportunity, or even try to blame it on the company or business that they're in, where they can look across town and see somebody else in the exact same thing and they're having success? Have you ever wondered why those things are? A long time ago I started wondering why this stuff was, and it's a shift that has to occur inside of you at this moment. Stop fooling around. Stop looking for some other team to make it happen for you, some leader to take you by the hand, some super, terrific new age push button system that does it all for you. Look, I'm telling you, it's in you. You've got a more powerful supercomputer up here than anything Bill Gates and Dell and Microsoft or anybody can put together. This bio supercomputer is tapped into infinite intelligence. Not the almighty Goog, but the almighty God, if you want to believe it that way. Infinite abundance. Man, it's right there at your disposal. You have to open up to it. You have to be willing to receive. That's a good question. Are you willing to receive? Are you open to receiving? I studied with a guy named Jeffrey Combs, and good gracious, I can't say enough about this gentleman in terms of just his way of putting things to you that you can truly understand, that will help you with the shift. Help the shift to occur in your own mindset so that you understand you're not getting what you want out of life because you're not going after what you want in life. Even though you might be saying, oh, I wish I had this, oh, I want that, and, oh, it'd be nice to do this. You haven't decided. Once you decide to do something and set your mind to it, there is absolutely nothing that can hold you back from getting it. Until you decide that you don't have as much faith. Until you don't believe in it as much anymore. And then guess what? You're not going to take the actions because you don't really believe it's even possible. Why are you going to do what your leaders really tell you to do? Anyway, even if they did hold your hand, if you don't even believe it's possible, folks, you got to make a decision that the game's not over until you win. Okay? And if you're losing right now and you know it's possible for you to win, you are not doing the right things. You're not. Period. Take a look in your business, take a look at your team leaders, take a look at the other people around you, take a look at the people that are getting the results that you would like to have, and seriously start thinking the way they're thinking. Study these people, do what they're doing. Okay? This is a monumental shift in your thinking that will create some unbelievable paradigm shifts in your life. Okay, so it brings about a question, where do you actually focus your energy? Well, you can say you focus on business, you focus on, all these different tasks, okay? What you need to focus on is faith and love and giving. And you say, well, I don't have anything to give. Yes, you do. You've got your story to give right now. You've got a unique perspective on life that no one else on this planet has. And some people are going to identify with that. Not everyone's going to identify with me. They might think I look funny, or, they might not respect where I'm from. But that's okay, because I know there's a lot of people out there watching this right now that have been in a similar place as me, that have been at rock bottom, losing everything around them. Seems like, everything's flying apart at the seams. They're rolling on a broken wagon wheel. Seems kind of hard to fix a broken wagon wheel sometimes, Well, maybe you just need a new wagon. Maybe you just need a new driver. Okay? It's all in your head. You need to focus on abundance and prosperity and leading by example. I mean, seriously, if you're not where you want to be and you're trying to lead other people to where they want to go, how do you really expect them to follow you when you don't have the faith that you're on the right track? They're not going to follow you. You're going to do exactly the opposite if you don't have faith in what you're doing. Ultimately, faith in yourself, faith in love and good and abundance. If you're focused on lack, if you're focused on your problems that you have from day to day, look, everybody has problems. Every single person in your company right now has dealt with issues in their life. I don't care who they are. Every leader and every guy that's just getting started hadn't made $1 yet. They're dealing with issues in their life, some of which are going to be similar to yours. Some are absolutely nothing like it. But they're dealing. They have to have faith in what's good and what's abundant. Faith in success and prosperity. And lead by example. Fix your focus. Fix your mind. Set your mind on what it is you want. Nothing can stand in your way. If you truly believe that all things are in abundance in this universe, then how could you possibly put any kind of focus on lack? It's just the abundance hasn't been revealed to you yet. See, these are two juxtaposed opinions here. This is what's holding you back. This is what's holding you back. Pay attention. Focus on the decision you made to only allow right thinking into your mind. And right thinking is, if you want to say positive thinking, okay, whatever. Looking on the bright side all the time, whatever. Look at it that way. This is healthy for you to do, because if you truly believe all things are in abundance, there is no lack, then you can focus on that decision and kick out wrong thinking that's not in line with your goals. It's not in line with prosperity. It's not in line with abundance. If it's not, it's wrong thinking. And you're counteracting your other thoughts. Take stock daily of when you get into I call it a bad neighborhood. Some days, you're just everything sucks. I call it being in a bad neighborhood up here upstairs. Get out of that bad neighborhood. You're the driver. Make a U-turn. Get the heck out of there. A buddy of mine says, when he encounters something that pops up in his head that, oh gosh, if I go near those sick kids, I'm going to get sick. I mean, this is a real stupid example. But think about that. You don't want to sit around and think about sickness all the time, do you? And being sick and being, it starts to get you down. I mean, you will make yourself sick if you think about being sick all the time. You've probably noticed this yourself. And here's what I mean. You wouldn't sit and focus on sickness and death and just think of what you're subscribing to. Are you going to focus on this every day on purpose? Would you do that? No, because deep down inside you realize this. Whether you make it the source of your power or not, you realize this on a deep level, that if you keep thinking about sick and unhealthy, you're probably going to make yourself sick. It's going to be sickness in your mind first. It's going to manifest in your body. You're going to be sick, aren't you? Well, why don't you believe exactly the opposite of that? That's a good question to ask yourself. If you can make yourself sick, you can make yourself well. Hello? If you can make yourself poor, you can make yourself rich. And I don't mean just monetarily. If you've ever read Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill's got a whole list of 21 things, and there's 20 things that come way before money, monetary riches, that equates to his equation of riches and being rich and abundant. A rich and abundant life doesn't, to me, it means ultimate happiness. It means being fulfilled with everything that you had. And that's a whole different situation. But actually something that we can put on this particular slide here is to just focus. Oh, I said it, focus on abundance, but focus on right thinking. Like I was about to say, a buddy of mine has got a little mechanism he uses when this wrong thinking pops up. When a crazy thought that is off track for your goals or what you want. He says, I got a big red X. It just does that in my head. A big red X goes, I'm not subscribing to that. I'm not tuning my radio into that frequency, that station, because guess what you're going to get on that station? You're going to get the same old bunch of crap that you've been getting. You keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. And doing, I mean thinking. If you keep thinking the way you've been thinking, you're going to keep taking the same types of actions. You're going to keep procrastinating your success. It's going to keep leading to a bunch of squash when you wanted tomatoes. Are you making these realizations with me right here, right now? I mean, seriously, folks. Seriously. So, focus on the right things. And you're asking me now, why is this going to work for me? I've heard some of these things before, and why is it going to work for me? Well, it works because of the laws of the universe. There's a reason why they call these the laws of the universe. Okay? Time-tested principles. This stuff goes back thousands of years to biblical. You can read the Bible, read the Quran, read these different writings of wise men that were on this earth, and ultimately the writings of men by our Creator, that took and put the Creator's words down on paper for us to read, for us to interpret. These are laws of the universe. It's been proven over and over again throughout history. A long time ago, I went and I started studying successful people, like I told you. And I'm telling you, every successful person has always said some of these same things, and they seem cliche now. And I went through a little phase in my own life where, man, I was getting pissed off. I'm like, I know this stuff. I read this stuff, you know. I hear this guy talking about this, and just, change your mind, change your life, you know. Well, it's not that easy. This is what's going through my head a long time ago. Well, guess what? I was right. It wasn't easy. It was a struggle. It wasn't until I went, you know what, this is easy. It's simple for me to change. I can change my mind on a second. But then having faith that that was the right thing to do made me go, well, why is this going to work for me? Guess what? It won't unless you decide that you're going to make it work. You are going to make it work, not some other team or, fancy system. You're the one that's going to make it work. Okay? This stuff's been proven over and over again. I'll put some other links in this video where you can, check out some of these other things and some of the resources that I list under here. Like Think and Grow Rich, and this is why This is why I joined network marketing years ago, folks, because it's like a self-help program with a compensation plan. Lots of successful people you'll study, they'll say, to get around the right people. And, your income is determined by the five, people that you hang around the most. You can take an average up their income, and your income's probably going to be real close to the average of the five people that you hang around the most. Have you ever heard that? Why do you think that's been said for hundreds and hundreds of years, man? Because it's true. What are you subscribing to? What are you programming your supercomputer to believe? And then just on a subconscious level, this is what's happening to you. I was listening to something the other day, a little training video. It's something I do every day. I want to grow and expand my knowledge and get better, right? So I'm reading this thing, and they're talking about how the human brain processes only about 8 bits of information at a time. But there are, throughout all your senses and everything, there are billions. I mean, it's some astronomical number of stimuli, of programming that's going into your senses. Okay, so your brain is receiving billions of signals, from sight and hearing. Like I'm hearing my chimes over here outside right now, and it's very soothing to me. And okay, there's all kinds of things, birds chirping, if the TV was on in the background. Just think about now what you subscribe to on purpose. What do you listen to every day on purpose? What TV shows do you watch? What are the people that you're talking to on a daily basis? What are they saying? What are you saying to yourself when you're riding down the road in the afternoon in your car, and you just had somebody really piss you off or cut you off, or you just left work and Susie was being a real bee and just, oh my gosh, and you're going through this whole thing in your head, and well, I talked to them again, I'm gonna do this, and do you ever monitor your thoughts, man? And understand that you're tending your own garden? Understand that these thoughts that you're having right now, these 8 little bits of conscious, things that you're managing, are embedding into your subconscious a program that now you're going to act from. And you say, well, I want more money. But meanwhile, you've been listening to 5 other people that are broke and disgusted telling you how the economy's, got us all in a dumps, and it's just hard to make money nowadays. It's just hard. You ain't ever going to do it with that, and that ain't ever going to work either, and all these things, and real estate's in the toilet. And what radio station are you tuned into that's programming your subconscious to pull you in this direction when you want to go in that direction? Your conscious is going, hey, I want to go over there. but you got billions of pieces of information that your subconscious has locked in and said, this is our operating system, this is how we're going to act, this is what we're going to do. You got millions of little bits pulling you back over there. Folks, you got to change the programming. You got to start typing in some different search terms. You got to focus on some different outcomes. Have faith in the process, that it all happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. The circumstances you're in right now are happening to you for a reason, based on your past thinking and actions. You know, I heard a guy in our Empower team, he said, you know, you are where you are today because of your best thinking. Your best thinking has gotten you the best of where you are right now, right? So if that's the case, and you feel like I'm not really at a place where I want to be in my life, then your thinking has to get better. In order for things to get better, you have to get better. In order for things to change, you have to change. Change for the better. So what's happening to you right now is helping to program you, or helping you to see the result so that you can change the programming and understand you're in control, remember? This is why this stuff will work for you. And this is why it'll only work for you if you do it. So how exactly can you obtain success in whatever it is that you're doing? And remember, success can be a plethora of different things. It's really about you and how do you view success. First, decide right now. Decide the game's not over until you win. It's not. Decide what is a win. What's a win to you? Find the other people that are winning like you want to win, and do what they're doing. Model after success. If you do what successful people are doing, you've got a higher probability that you're going to achieve a similar result as what they're getting. Okay? If people are having success around you and you're not, the only factor is you. They got the same company. They got the same comp plan. They got the same products and services to deal with. I don't care what your company is, man. There's people succeeding in that company right now, aren't there? And you're not. It's you. You need to take ownership of your results. You need to take ownership of your thoughts, man. This thing up here is going wild every day. You're subscribing to this magazine. You're tuning into this radio station. You know, we don't see radio waves, do we? But we know if we want, some rap music, you turn in until you pick up the radio waves that are bringing you that rap music. You say, well, I want some drums, I want some rock music. You know, I'm a drummer. I want something heavy. Well, I'm not going to stop on the rap station or country station and that's what frequency is being broadcast, and I'm not going to go, well, you know, maybe if I just keep on doing this and listening to this, I'm going to get some good rock metal drums here. Dude. Man, you're in the wrong domain. You're on the wrong station, and you're the one controlling that. You have to understand that success is not an event that you can simply obtain. Success is a process. Know that success is a mindset, a way of thinking. It's a decision to grow in abundance. And since all things are infinite, I mean, are you ever going to be able to have it all? Are you ever going to be perfect at anything? No, so you don't know what you don't know. The more I learn, the more I read, the more that I understand, the more I realize I don't know what I don't know. You don't know what you don't know. If you haven't put some of these things to the test, then you don't know if they work or not. You know that what you've been doing is not getting you what you want. I know that what I was doing wasn't getting me what I want. I know I've been on both sides of the equation. I know that I've been in a place where I was very powerful and I committed to the process, and I was keeping the faith in all things that were good, but then spending too much time around broke-minded people, spending too much time subscribing and letting that information into my supercomputer without even, your knowledge up front. I'm processing 8 bits of information at max time up front, and on the background, millions of pieces of information are going into my file system and determining how my operating system runs. Pretty soon I'm going, dadgum, I'm still looking over here at my goal, but I'm moving that way. I could feel it a long time ago. I could feel this downward spiral that started. And I'm like, what's going on? Seems like stuff's not working out. Well, guess what I was focused on? It seems like things aren't working out. Oh crap. Instead of where I was and where I am now, I've focused on what I know is possible. And all things are possible. Infinite possibilities. Science is telling us that now too. You don't need some mystical, science is kind of mystical, isn't it? It's spiritual meets scientific. I mean, they're proving now this stuff is true, that we're all created out of the same stuff, right? We're all energy. If you take an electron microscope and you look down into your hand and you just keep going, and this electron microscope sees the tiniest scale that can be measured, and you can see the nano scale is what they call this. Some interesting things to look up on YouTube, nanotechnology. And I know it sounds all crazy, and I'm not talking about some Star Trek and or whatever, but literally the study of things at the nanoscale. If you take an electron microscope and look at your hand, or I look at this glass right here, or the water that's in this glass. It's actually very good, reviving. My point is, we're all made of the same stuff. I mean, literally, everything is energy. Okay? It's so small you don't see it. Brain waves are energy. Radio waves are energy. And see, we want to tune that in on our radio. We got to turn on the power. We got to tune the station to get what we want. Okay, your broadcasting and receiving station up here is always on, always working. A lot of people take that for granted. They think they're sitting there thinking about a buddy of theirs, and the phone rings, and oh, it's my buddy. Oh, and they're like, oh, that's a coincidence, isn't it? Or is it? Or just like a text message, where you can almost instantaneously hit that button, and a person on the other side of the world receives that signal through their little handset. Well, see, guess what? The ability to do that has always been on this earth. But it wasn't until recently, until somebody discovered exactly how to use it, right? It was always here. It was always here. Your ability to communicate with infinite abundance and infinite knowledge, and ultimately the answers to all of your problems, are already embedded in your supercomputer. You just need to unlock it. They're already in there. The answers are in there. You have to open up to it. You have to change the frequency on your radio station. You have to change the tuning up here so that you're getting what you're looking for, not something else playing some music you don't care anything about. Does this make any sense to you guys? I really hope so. So you'll ultimately decide your failure if you don't decide your success up front. You're already choosing failure if you don't choose success. Guys, this this pretty much concludes the 90-day success formula, day one, entitled A Simple Decision. And it really is a simple decision. But it's a daily process of committing to this decision and understanding that the game's not over until you win. You can get every single thing you want out of life if you'll just decide what it is you want. I had an epiphany here recently myself where, I've got my hands in several things. I've been in, good gracious, I've been in a lot of different network marketing opportunities, and and some of my friends think that, because I've got this other thing going, that, I left, something else. Well, the fact is, I probably have 6 or 7 different network marketing opportunities that I market for, and not to mention a lot of different systems and tools and things that work in relation to those things. That it was a simple decision that I made to not only get involved, but it was a decision that I made to utilize these vehicles to get to a certain place. And I'll just leave you with this. This is the last thing. We've already been 45 minutes on this call. This is day one. My intention, I guess, was to maybe be about 15 minutes, and so day one, this is a little bit lengthy here, and other tools and things I'm going to list below this. A lot more great reading and audio and video. I just invite you to do this. Open up to the possibilities. Understand that success is right around the corner for you, and understand that it's up to you to choose success, to decide success. Okay? And with that, I hope this has brought some kind of value to you guys today, and pass it on, share this video with your friends, and share this post with anybody that you know, no matter what business it is. This is not focused on any one business. I want you to take from this what applies to you and literally apply it in your life. And leave me some comments. Let me know how these things either have affected you already, and do you know this to be true, or do a little test over the next 90 days with me to kick out wrong thinking, exit out, to only let in right thinking. Monitor your thoughts over the next 90 days. Set a clear intention up front. Okay? And then monitor your thoughts over the next 90 days. And I promise you it'll get easier. Okay? The first few days is going to be tough. The first week is going to be a whole lot easier. By the time you've done this for about 21 days, see, they say it takes about 21 days to develop a habit. Well, guess what? That can be a good habit or a bad habit. So if you're in a place where you've got a bunch of bad habits, and it just seems like every day flies by, you have no time to do what you want, understand that every person on this planet has 24 hours in a day. And if there's somebody else in your business or in your position similar to you, and they're getting what they want, they're getting what you want, that you can do it too. You're going to have to make some shifts, paradigm shift. You're going to have to make a shift in your thinking. You're going to have to decide that you're going to change your thinking, and you're going to change your life. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned for day 2, and also I'll make a few other posts in the next few days here, just reviewing some other companies and tools and things. Hopefully that can help you out with your pursuit and this 90-day success formula also. This is Kevin. I'm out.